Welcome to Same Spit, Different Face TV. Well, my opinions is facts, and if you don't like my opinions, you can start your own podcast. And it's free. So don't forget to spit on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification. If you clicked on this video to hear about Joe Budden responding to Drake, I need you to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Now, Spit Squad, we all know that Drake and Joe Budden been going back and forth for a while now, and every time he takes a little shot at Joe Budden. Now, Drake has a Finsta. Finsta is just fake Instagram. For those of y'all who have never heard that term before, the F just stands for fake, and obviously we know Insta is short for Instagram. Now, Drake took to his Finsta and posted a picture of Joe Budden, and basically he was just trying to say that Joe Budden dressed trash. Now, Joe Budden replied to this was interesting. Joe Budden said, "Hey, don't start shooting at me now because you ice cold out here and you trying to get some pub, you trying to get some publicity, you trying to get yourself hot again." Now, in my personal opinion, Drake is not hot out. Not cold out here. We always have a period of time where Drake goes away and Drake come back. And let's be clear, they shoot at each other. So it's not like Drake just shooting at Joe Budden for attention and Joe Budden just shooting at Drake for attention. They shoot at each other because they friendly enemies. They not looking to kill each other. They not looking to harm each other. But any time they can kick each other back in or they can sneak diss each other, they will do that. And now it's not even sneak diss anymore. They basically starting to speak about each other publicly and say each other names or post each other. Well, Drake posts Joe Budden picture is like Drake saying Joe Budden name. So I don't want Joe to act like Drake just coming out the blue and starting to say stuff to him now. Now, I will say that it was a point where it seemed like anytime Joe Budden spoke about Drake, it was somebody from Drake team who would reply and say, "Oh, that ain't true," or "these old hating podcast guy," or whatever that case may be. So from that standpoint, I do understand what Joe Budden is saying, but also at the same time, Joe Budden always speak about having thick skin and not being worried about these rappers and all of that stuff in that nature, right? So in my personal opinion, what Joe Budden has to do is Joe Budden just has to ignore Drake. If Joe Budden truly feels like everything that Drake doing is just for the publicity of it and he trying to get him to say his name and heat him up and all of this and that, well, guess what, Joe Budden? If that is true and you know he doing that, why reply to him? Why not just come in there and tell the guys, "Hey, we not speaking about Drake. I know he said something about me, but he ice cold right now. Let's let him just be ice cold. Let's let his career die off, and then we'll come in and talk about him when, he can't blow back up." Like academics do. When an artist he don't like is having an album dropping, he don't speak about him at all because he don't want his attention to them to drive to attention to their album and give them sales and streams. That's what academic does, right? But Joe Budden knows that talking about Drake is going to get him just as much traction as Drake talking about him. So we got to be honest about this situation if we're going to talk about it. Both of y'all benefit from talking about each other. If y'all want more Joe Budden and Drake updates, hit the subscribe button. If you want more hip hop and celebrity updates, hit the subscribe button. Check out my original Chicago hood movie in the end screen, No Time to Play Fair. If you into sneakers, you a sneakerhead, you love seeing the new Jordans, Pumas, whatever it may be, subscribe to Kicking It with Fairplay 2333. If you trying to follow me on my basketball journey, my weightlifting and fitness journey, and also be inspired to get back on your fitness journey, subscribe to Fairplay, Flex, and Fadeaway. Also, any of these pages I just named, you can also find them on TikTok or Instagram.